Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It's been a few days since I had one. I've been traveling. If you were wondering, where's my video? Maybe you were, maybe you weren't. But yeah, took some time off and had a really good time traveling with my daughter. We got to see the Smoky Mountains for a few days. If you've never been there, it's beautiful. Suggest you do it sometime. It's been a place we've traveled for a long time. But anyway, back. And I've been thinking over some video topics, and this one today may seem really basic, but it is super important in understanding how they tick, what makes the narcissist do what they do. And so I'm going to talk about really, maybe kind of brash and brazen about it. I'm going to talk about the major advantage that the narcissist had on you. Not just had on you, but the major advantage that they have on everybody. And before I get into it, I want to say, when I talk about the advantage they have, I'm not talking about this in a good way. I'm not saying they have some sort of really positive attribute that's so wonderful and they can utilize this in some profound way, and it's an attribute of God that they possess or something holy, virtuous. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about, in brass tacks, what makes them so effective at doing what they do to you and to me and every good person in this world and everybody else they interact with. Well, I'm going to cut to it. What is it that makes the narcissist so effective? What is the advantage they have? They don't care. That's it. I could stop the video, but I'm going to elaborate on this one. The narcissist simply doesn't care about anybody or anything. And you might say, well, that's such a basic observation. Yeah, but you have to really understand something. These people are able to go throughout their lives manipulating, cheating, lying, stealing, and they're able to go from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next, and you're thinking, well, what about if they're married? Doesn't matter. They're still doing. The narcissist is married but single. The narcissist is never with anyone. You guys know that. They're never ever sold out or all in to any relationship ever at any point, period. It doesn't matter if it's the first day you met them or the last day before the relationship ended or if you were married to them for 25 years. They're never invested in that relationship. They always have their own thing. So, well, they've been married for 30 years. Doesn't matter. They've been doing what they want for 30 years. And that person's been getting abused for 30 years. Horribly, to the point where they're probably a shell of themselves. Or they're married to someone who's also just doing their own thing the entire time. But however that works, these aren't marriages. These aren't even relationships. These aren't even situationships. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's hideous. It's abusive the entire time. But this is how they're able to, so in other words, even if they're in a marriage, they're still in an endless cycle of relationships with everybody else, not their spouse. That's how rotten and corrupt these people are. Marriage means absolutely nothing to a narcissist. Absolutely nothing. So, this is how they can go from relationship to the next, all throughout, in that endless cycle that they're doomed and destined to repeat. And the reason they can do it is that they don't care about anybody. When you really break it down to the most fundamental level, that's how they can be with you or with me or with anybody for 6 months, a year, year and a half, 2 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And it doesn't matter. They can drop you like you're standing still. They can go right on, boom, ba-boom, 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 because they were never invested. And they don't have empathy. They don't care how you feel. They don't care what you think. They don't care about the person they're with or the person they're triangulating you with or the new supply or the old supply or the new, next supply. They simply have this rare and frankly satanic, demonic ability to literally just not care about anyone. That you have to understand this. Because every time you look back on the narcissist and you lament and you say, how did they just go right on? It was like they never cared about me. It's because they didn't care about you. nor do they care about anyone. They don't care about their own children. Everybody for them is an opportunity. Everybody in the narcissist life is a question of, what can I get out of that person? What is it? What are they going to bring me? Do they bring me adoration? Do they bring me praise? Do they bring me money, finances, a home, clout? Do they make me look good? What is it? What is it that they're doing? And that's all they care about. That's all they see. So the people that were the grade A supply that they look back on, or the once in a lifetime kind of person, they're not looking back on that person, you or me or whoever, and saying, boy, they were so wonderful. They were just the most amazing person and I blew it. No, no. That would involve them caring about somebody, and they don't. They'll look back and say, he sure did a lot for me. He broke his back. She broke her back. She provided so many resources. He had a lot of money, or she was just great looking. He had so much empathy. She had patience for days. That's the stuff they look at. But they don't even value those things as an intrinsic attribute. They just think they provided this for me. For me, just for me. That's all that matters to the narcissist. And think about how successful, in a worldly, successful, earthly sense, a narcissist can be. This is why so many times they do catapult themselves career-wise. They do end up with money at times because they're so conniving and manipulative. They're willing to do anything it takes to step over someone. They'll step on your head. They'll step on 100 people's heads to get what they want. If you're willing to live like that, to live like a snake, a treacherous serpent, who will bite anything around them, and you'll even bite your own tail if you have to do it, because the narcissist blows themselves up as well in the process. You can get an awful long way in this world in a very earthly and even satanic sense if you're willing to live your life that way. If you can just be so callous as to not give a rip about anybody, then you can sure get a lot of what you want in this world. This is why I love Jesus' parable of the rich man and Lazarus. He talks about this explicitly. The rich man lives a life of luxury. He's callous. He's hard-hearted. He's got all these material goods. He's got money. He's got a wonderful home, we assume. That sort of stuff. And so he lives a life of luxury. And then there's Lazarus, the poor man, the good-hearted, God-fearing, at least it's implied, poor person. And at the end, their lives get switched. Because in the afterlife, the new heaven, the new earth, the new kingdom, the rich man, he's going to suffer for the rest of his life. He ends up in Hades, as Jesus calls it, which really just means there's a reversal of fortune. We know the unrighteous, the wicked go to hell. We know the righteous are going to be in Christ's kingdom with him. And that's what happens. So these narcissists get all of this stuff, and they do get a lot of stuff, and it can be really frustrating, and I understand that as well as anybody, because it looks like the wicked are prospering. And be sure, in some ways, they are prospering. They can often get money because they'll dig themselves into people's wills, and they'll cut their brothers and sisters out. Or they'll marry people just to get their money. They'll marry people just to get child support or alimony. They'll step and they'll gut anybody to move ahead in the company that they're in. I've got a relative who climbed a ladder at a major company and became extremely successful, had a fantastic job. I mean a one percenter type of job. What do you have to do to get there? Step on everybody's head and make every enemy known to man, and slit people's throats and gut them, and do. Everybody who worked with him said the same thing. He will do anything to get ahead. Well, if you're willing to live your life that way, you can oftentimes get ahead. Not always, but often. And what is the common theme here? The narcissist can do this because they don't care about anybody. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care who they blow up. In fact, their intent is to blow people up. It's even more than not caring. They want to destroy people. I've talked about that on many episodes, many many videos. They want to blow people up. That's their assignment. But as far as their mental idea, they just don't care. It's completely callous. That's why you can see the blank stares that they'll give you oftentimes. Maybe you're emotional, you're crying, you're trying to save the relationship. And what do you get? We're not going to agree. We're just not going to agree. What? Brian, I don't agree. We're not going to talk about this. And then they're going to stonewall you and give you silent treatment for 3 days. They don't care. So again, this is the tremendous attribute, not in a positive way, it's an unholy attribute that the narcissist possesses. Now imagine you trying to operate and live your life that way. I can't. I couldn't even begin to live my life that way. Even if I tried, I don't think I could start to do it. Where you will just step on anybody that's in your path and throw them in front of you. Let them take the shot. Throw them in front of the bus. Gut them. Metaphorically speaking. No way. I mean, for people like us, if we say something on accident that might have hurt somebody's feelings, we think about it probably for days. Even if we didn't mean to say anything like that. They do these things intentionally. They say the most horrific, awful things anyone could ever dream up to people on a regular basis, and they don't care a bit about it. So, again, you ask yourself, how does the narcissist just go on like nothing ever happened? How do they just be in an endless slew of relationships? Even if they're married, they're in an endless cycle of relationships. I'm telling you, they are. You might think, well, how did they stay with this person? They've been married 15 years. It's because the person they're with is taking amazing, amazing abuse. And the narcissist is still doing everything they want on the side and behind their back. Because they don't, you guessed it, care about anybody. The only way you can do any of these things is if you don't have any genuine empathy, love, compassion, care, concern for another living soul on this planet, and they don't. Every time that you think they do, it's because they're acting. They've learned to fake empathy. They've learned to feign compassion. That's why you can see them sometimes communicating with other people, and they'll act, oh, that's terrible. Oh, I can't, oh. It's fake. It's not authentic. They don't care about anyone. They just picked up on how to pretend to care about people because even that serves a purpose for them. If they can pretend to care about people, then that entangles them. That promotes trust and stability. That allows them to get another unsuspected victim, whether friendship, romantic, or whatever it is. Because you think the person cares because they're good at faking it. Yeah, this is the life of the narcissist, day in, day out, in every relationship. This is why they can go from one to the other, to the next, to the next, to the next, blowing them up, torching them, throwing that Molotov cocktail backwards to blow the person up as they scoot right on to another person. Over and over. The only way you can do that is if you have a completely calloused, hard heart with no love and empathy, and you don't care. So yeah, the person you're thinking of that you were with, hard reality, but this is the truth. They never cared about you. They just didn't. They might know you're the best source of supply they've ever had. They probably do. They'll always look back on you. They'll probably always stalk your social media. They might do other things of a more advanced level. They'll always know that's the one that got away. That stuff remains true. But they don't care about you. They never did. And also if you think, well, they got it right with the next person, or man, someday they're going to get it right with somebody. That's the number one reason I think why we hang on as long as we do. Because we're really afraid. We're really afraid that at some point that narcissist is going to go on, maybe years down the road even, see the error of their ways, fix it, introspect, heal, and be a wonderful, fantastic person for somebody down the road. And we're scared to let them go. What if they get it right? What if they get it right for somebody 5 years from now? What if they're getting it right for the person they're with now? I can't give up on this because what if they get it right someday? And part of why we don't want to break up with them is because we're terrified that basically somebody's going to come in and pull that slot machine that we've pulled 900,000 times, and this person's going to hit the jackpot. We're sitting at that seat, and I'm taking this analogy I've heard from other people because it's so valid. We're sitting in that slot machine seat, pulling that handle over and over and over, and we're failing. But we're terrified to get up because we think the next person that sits down, or somebody 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times down the road, is going to sit down and pull that handle one more time and get jackpot. They're not. It's not going to happen. At least in Vegas, there's a chance that that could happen. It does occasionally happen. Not to the narcissist, because that would imply they care about somebody. They're capable of introspecting. They're capable of healing. They want to heal. They want to do better. They want to have a good relationship at some point in time. They don't. They want none of those things. They didn't with you, and they won't in the future, and they never will. So you have to understand something. This is just a really basic but harsh and important truth. The narcissist does not care about anyone on this earth. And that's the hard reality. That being said, once you understand that, and you really understand it, embrace it, it's liberating. Because you know there's nothing you could have done to save it. You weren't going to pull that handle 5,000, 5 million more times and hit a jackpot. No one now is getting the best of the narcissist. No one's getting a good version of the narcissist. Unless it's the love bomb, and that's temporary, as we know, just very temporary. And that's a fake, it's a mask. They're able to do what they do because their complete lack of caring and concern for anyone. Why do we waste our time thinking about such a person? Why? And the important thing is, like I said, we know their end. At the end, there will be a reversal of fortunes. If they don't get all of it in this lifetime, and they're going to get plenty of things, despite their successes in an earthly sense, they get plenty of things in their lifetime, including living miserably with demonic attachment. There's that. But they're going to get it at the end, because they're going to have a reversal of fortunes. And everything they got in this lifetime, they're going to get back way worse at judgment. And they're going to be like the rich man crying out, please just give me anything. Just give me a drop of water. Nope, there's not going to be anything to be found. The narcissists live their life with no concern or care for anybody, and they will be rewarded accordingly. So keep this in mind when you're dealing with the narcissist, guys. I hope it's helpful for somebody. If it is, drop comments below. Have some more video ideas. If there's anything you want to hear me talk about, then also drop comments about that, and I will pick those up in a video. So anyway, thanks for everything. Continue to watch and support this channel if it's helpful for you. But I will be back with another one. Until then, God bless.